Hello there. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Gaurav Chhikara Garden, and I'm sure most of us are relieved because winters somehow got over and now it's the best period for our plants, for our garden, for our lawn, right? So by now you know what are we talking about today. It's mustard green. So let's begin. This is one plant or shrub or a vegetable which is used everywhere around the world. Though it has got different names like brown mustard, Chinese mustard, Indian mustard, leaf mustard, oriental mustard, vegetable mustard. So all these are species of this plant. So what you need to do is, see, there are places, there are countries where you get these extensively, but in places like where you don't get these, what you can do is you can get a pack of mustard seeds and you can kind of get your own mustard greens, right? So let's begin. Now when you get the seeds, make sure you pour water, you soak them in water, and if the seeds float at the surface, that means seeds won't germinate. So don't waste your time, make sure they all sink in. That's when you know seeds are active and they would germinate. So soil mix is normal, nothing fancy, just your regular potting mix, and yeah, you're good to go. Just that you loosen the soil at first, and if possible a couple of weeks before you sow these seeds, you can kind of water these empty pots so that it already has a lot of moisture, and as you pre-soak the seeds, they'll have enough moisture to kind of germinate very well. So you can spread them normally, you can put them in a straight line, you can put them in. What I'm trying to do here is making sure that when I get the seeds to germinate, they have enough space to kind of grow really well. Otherwise you might have to resort to thinning. You take out a few saplings around one plant and that's how you kind of do that thinning. But if you want to avoid that, make sure you sow them at a distance at least 2-3 centimeters away from each other. And why mustard greens are so popular is, see, first reason, any dish, anything you cook with mustard greens, it becomes part of soulful food. And the reason for that is, let's say in 100 grams of cooked mustard greens, you would get 26 calories, and it's a rich source of vitamin A, C, K, and which is especially high, and there are not many foods which give you vitamin K, and it also has vitamin E, calcium, and most of the greens contain a high amount of water. In this mustard green thing, it's 92%. Alright, so it's kind of a complete food if you cook it well. It's kind of tasteful as well, as I mentioned before, soul food. And the good thing about this mustard greens is you can use the leaves, seeds or stems. All the varieties, you can have your pick, whatever you want to cook, whatever you know how to cook, you can use any of those things. In fact, sometimes people use all three things together, which is also kind of nice. So once you get the seeds in, just pour some water at the top, and if your seeds come out, then again you got to put a thin layer of soil again on it. So the best time to sow them is right before the start of the winters, and then you can harvest it during the winters and right after the winter. But if you're growing a small amount wherein you would just need the leaves, the stem, you can sow them any time of the year and they will do really well. So we got our germination. This is week 1.5. That's like 11-12 days. We got the first signs of germination. Obviously some seeds would germinate a day prior to others, and it's like once you see the germination starting, within a couple of days all the seeds would germinate. I mean, most of them. You see, it's a great thick bunch of mustard greens we have got going on here. Obviously they need a lot of sun, they need a lot of water. Every second, third day you will have to water them. Given it's a winter crop, so you can always make it like 3 times a week watering, and yes, a lot of sun. Then you would have leaves dark green, they would have more thickness, and that would make your food really stand out. So we are at week 4. They have grown great leaves and the stems are becoming thicker, and yeah. We can go ahead and harvest it right away. You see the flowers. Beautiful yellow flowers. Even if you don't harvest them, you can have these mustard plants and they can escape as some great flowering plant. Alright, and so right before the flowering happens, you can nip those buds away so that your leaves grow more towards your requirements. Because if you let these flowers grow, the plant would give out all its energy to kind of sustain these flowers. But if you kind of pluck the top of these plants, then it will direct all its energies to the leaves, and yeah, you'll have great. So if you want to use the stems, give it a couple of more weeks, and then you'll have more stems. Alright, I would take your leave now. You make sure you share it with your friends who love mustard greens, and I'll see you again with another video. And if you're watching this, haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe.